As you watch this, your teeth are dissolving. Not metaphorically, literally. Minerals are being pulled out of your enamel as we speak. And here's the part that's going to shock you. It's not because you're not brushing enough. It's not because you're eating too much sugar. And no, it has absolutely nothing to do with brushing harder. The real reason is something your dentist has almost certainly never mentioned. And after the age of 60, it becomes critically more dangerous with every single year. I'm going to reveal what that reason is in just a moment. But first, I need to tell you about Barbara. Barbara is 71 years old. She had to microwave her oranges just to eat them. Not because she liked warm fruit, because her teeth had become so sensitive, even room temperature food was unbearable. Her dentist told her, "This is just what happens when you get older." That answer cost Barbara years of unnecessary pain. 3 weeks after she made one specific change to her daily routine, the sensitivity was gone, completely gone. Her dentist couldn't explain it, but the science absolutely can. By the end of this video, I'm going to give you a 4-part formula, backed by an 18-month clinical trial, that could completely change how you think about your teeth. And one of these 4 steps involves 2 specific vitamins that most people over 60 are missing. Vitamins that determine whether the minerals in your bloodstream actually reach your teeth or quietly end up somewhere far more dangerous. Stay with me. Let's start with what's actually happening inside your mouth right now. Here's something almost nobody tells you. Your teeth are not solid. They are not rock. They are living mineral structures, and they are under attack every single day. 96% of your tooth is made of one mineral. It's called hydroxyapatite. Think of it as a tightly packed crystal lattice, calcium and phosphate bonded together, strong but not invincible. You know that old science experiment, pouring a fizzy drink over a corroded battery terminal? Watch it dissolve. The exact same process happens in your mouth. Every time you eat, acid drops your mouth's pH below 5.5, and the moment that happens, minerals are literally pulled out of your enamel and into your saliva. Where does the acid come from? 2 places. First, what you consume. Orange juice, coffee, tomatoes, vinegar dressings, energy drinks. All of them push your mouth into the danger zone. Second, and this surprises most people, the bacteria in your mouth. They feed on sugar. And what they produce as waste is acid. So it's not the sugar that causes the cavity. It's what the bacteria do with the sugar. Now here's the part that makes this so much more serious after age 60. Saliva production naturally decreases with age. And saliva is your mouth's primary repair mechanism. Less saliva means less buffering, less mineral delivery, and slower recovery after every acid exposure. This is real, but it's not irreversible. Let me ask you something. Have you ever taken a calcium supplement faithfully every single morning and still felt like your teeth were getting weaker? There's a reason for that, and it has nothing to do with the quality of your supplement. Clinical research now shows that calcium alone, without 2 specific cofactors, does almost nothing for your teeth. In fact, without those 2 cofactors, that calcium may be going somewhere far more dangerous. I'll explain exactly what that means in step 2. But first, let's build the foundation. Step 1 is the foundation. Control the acid. After you eat or drink anything other than water, your mouth stays acidic for 30 to 60 minutes. During that window, your enamel is demineralizing. Consider a common morning: coffee at 8, snack at 9:30, something small at 10:30, lunch at noon. That's 4 hours of near-continuous acid exposure, with no recovery window in between. Research consistently shows that frequency of eating matters more than quantity when it comes to enamel damage. Someone who eats 3 focused meals often has healthier enamel than someone who grazes on nutritious food all day. The practical fix is this: build real gaps between meals, at least an hour. Between meals, drink water, not juice, not coffee, water. And one more thing, after eating something acidic, wait 30 minutes before brushing. Enamel is temporarily softened after acid exposure. Brushing too soon removes minerals your saliva was in the process of replacing. You would be undoing the repair before it even starts. This is the step most dental content skips, and it explains why so many people do everything right and still see their teeth declining. Your saliva, when working correctly, is loaded with calcium and phosphate. the exact minerals your teeth need to repair themselves. After an acid attack, your saliva neutralizes the pH and deposits those minerals back into the microscopic holes in your enamel. This is called remineralization. This is your body healing your teeth, and for many people over 60, this process has slowed, not because the mechanism is broken, but because the raw materials are not making it where they need to go. That is where two specific nutrients come in. Vitamin D3 regulates calcium absorption. Without adequate D3, calcium enters your bloodstream and then just wanders. It does not get directed to where it is needed. Studies show a significant percentage of adults over 60 are clinically deficient, most without knowing it. Vitamin K2 works alongside D3. If D3 brings calcium into circulation, K2 tells it where to go, into teeth and bones, not soft tissues. Without K2, calcium supplementation alone can increase the risk of arterial calcification. This is documented in peer-reviewed literature. Barbara had been taking a calcium supplement for years. Adding D3 and K2 after a blood test confirmed her D3 was low, is what changed the outcome. Same mineral, better delivery, different result. If you are considering supplementation, discuss D3 and K2 levels with your doctor. A simple blood test gives you a baseline. Let's talk about toothpaste, specifically what fluoride does and what it does not do. Fluoride hardens enamel by converting hydroxyapatite into a more acid-resistant mineral. This is legitimate and well documented. Fluoride reduces the rate of mineral loss, but it does not replace what was already lost. When minerals are pulled out of enamel, they leave microscopic gaps. Fluoride makes the surrounding structure harder, but those gaps remain. Bacteria can still colonize them. Damage can still progress. Hydroxyapatite toothpaste works differently. Hydroxyapatite is the same mineral your teeth are made of. An 18-month clinical trial published in Frontiers in Public Health, following 189 adults, found that hydroxyapatite performed comparably to fluoride for cavity prevention, with stronger results for sensitivity reduction. The mechanism is straightforward. It fills gaps with compatible mineral material rather than hardening what remains around them. For sensitivity specifically, which affects many people over 60 due to enamel thinning and gum recession, this distinction matters. Sensitivity occurs when mineral gaps expose the tubules beneath enamel. Hydroxyapatite can physically occlude those tubules. Neither option is universally superior. But if sensitivity is your primary concern, hydroxyapatite is worth discussing with your dentist. That is why Barbara's sensitivity disappeared in 3 weeks. Not because she grew new enamel, because the missing pieces were finally put back. Step 3, you already know, but the reasoning matters. Bacteria in your mouth repopulate every 2 to 3 hours. You are not trying to eliminate them. You are trying to keep their population low enough that acid production stays manageable between meals. Brush twice daily with a soft bristled brush. Medium or hard bristles cause measurable enamel wear on aging teeth. Floss daily. Interdental bacteria are the ones your brush cannot reach. Consider an antimicrobial rinse in the evening. One specific note for anyone over 60 with gum recession. Root surfaces are now exposed. Roots have no enamel layer. They are significantly more vulnerable to both acid and bacteria. The evening routine is not optional. Everything comes together here. 3 principles. 1. Reduce eating frequency. This is the highest leverage change most people can make. 2. Reduce acid exposure duration. Sipping orange juice over 90 minutes causes far more damage than drinking it in 10. Rinse with water after acidic meals. Duration matters more than volume. 3. Eat for mineral density. Dark leafy greens, dairy or fortified alternatives, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish all contribute to the calcium, phosphate, and D3 your remineralization process depends on. Every meal is either adding to or drawing from your mineral reserves. Your teeth losing minerals after 60 is real, but it is a process, not a verdict. The early signs are visible. White chalky spots on enamel, increased cold sensitivity, teeth that feel less smooth than they used to. These are mineral gaps, and mineral gaps can be refilled. Run the process in reverse. Controlled acid exposure, adequate minerals, consistent bacteria management, appropriate remineralization support, and the outcome changes. Those white spots can become glossy again. The sensitivity can decrease. Eating can become comfortable. That is not a promise. That is what the research shows is possible, when the underlying biology is actually addressed. If any part of this resonated, if your teeth have been getting more sensitive, if you have noticed those white spots and were not sure what they meant, if you have been doing everything right and still feel like things are getting worse, type minerals in the comments. That tells me this is the kind of content worth making more of. And I read everyone. Subscribe if you want to stay current on this. Every week I translate clinical research on health and aging into steps you can actually apply. Next week I am covering the mineral deficiency linked to both dental health and bone density that affects over 40% of adults over 60 and that most standard blood panels never test for. See you then.
The information in this video is for educational purposes only, compiled from open sources, and does not substitute medical advice. Please consult your doctor for any health-related concerns.